Hello and welcome to another edition of Paul.com TV. Not quite Hack Naked TV, but Paul.com TV. In this particular edition, we're going to take a look at some new features that are built into Burp Suite Professional version 1.4.03. These are some features that I've been asking for in these tools for a long time, and it was just really cool to see the developers of Burp actually implement them. So let's go through and let's jump straight in. So I'm going to show you guys the website that we're dealing with. The website is the 560 Online Bank. Now, this is actually a bank that we set up for Sans 560, the brain trust at Ed Scotus Industries. Went through and created a wonderful little bank that was vulnerable to all kinds of different attacks, cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, just about everything. And this is the app that we use for the class, Sans 560, network penetration testing. So be sure to check it out. So I'm going to be demonstrating these attacks against this particular app. Now, it's just a standard app, and it has a wonderful little feature where we can transfer money to different accounts. So I can transfer a bunch of money to account number 1212 and transfer like $12. It says, are you sure? Do you want to transfer the money? I click OK. It does, and then I refresh and go back, and you can see that I've transferred amount of money. Now, this particular bank is really interesting because it allows you to go into negative. In this situation, I got really excited and I transferred more than I had in my bank account. In this situation, I've already transferred over $2,000 more than I have. So we want to get through this video fairly quick so we don't have to deal with the late fees from the bank. So that's the bank we're looking at. And as you can see, I've been playing around with the bank quite a bit here over the past few minutes. You can see all the different URLs and all the different requests that have been sent and the transfers and things of that nature. So that's cool. Now, one of the things that I've been looking for in any tool, whether it's Zap or it's Burp or any commercial tools, is the ability to go through and track parameters. So we've got Bank 560 session identifier is a cookie identifier, and then you can see some of them. We have body, username, password. Of course, in my situation, it's password, full name, things of that nature. Now, why do I want to do this? Well, the reason why I want to be able to track all of the different parameters in one place is it allows me to establish a data structure for the app. Now, you used to have to go to every single request to see the various parameters, but they've made it a lot easier in the newest version of Burp to be able to view those parameters. You simply right-click on the section that you want to look at, you go Engagement Tools, go Analyze Target, and over here on the right is a new little tab called Parameters. You can go through and you can select all of the different parameters that exist, and you can also see the number of URLs that it exists. Now, once again, this is really helpful for me as a pen tester, because one of the things I'll do is I'll look at parameters, especially parameters where I can put input. And if I see that that parameter shows up in multiple different points, it might be an opportunity to go through and find stored cross-site scripting. As in, I can put in the parameter, have it accept, and then view the parameter someplace else and have the cross-site scripting attack be triggered. I may be able to also do data structures to see where different parameters exist that may show up in administrator pages and in user pages. Either way, it is always a really good idea to define a data structure, not just of the pages, but the individual parameters that are on each of those pages. Gives you a better idea of how the actual app is established. The next one is something I'm sure you'll all be very excited with. So here we have the ability to see the request where I did a transfer. This is one of the labs we do in 560 where we transfer money from one account to another account, and then we actually go through and create a blog entry and trigger the transfer outside of the bank account. Now, of course, you have to be logged into the bank account and the blog simultaneously, but that's the nature of cross-site request forgery. You see, with cross-site request forgery attacks, it's very rare to find tools that are excellent at detecting them. And that's not really a failing on the tools, it's pretty much a failing of many of the pen testers. See, cross-site request forgery requires the pen tester to have some type of working knowledge of the application. In this example, the account transfer, so transferring funds back and forth. So the cool new feature that's been added into Burp is I can right-click on that request and I can generate a csrf proof of concept. As soon as it does that, it has the request above, and then down below is some cool little HTML that I can put into a standalone file. Now, how would you use this as a pen tester? Well, you take these sensitive transactions, things like transferring funds from one account to another, or creating a new user account, and then you'd take the csrf HTML and you'd put it into an HTML file. And then, of course, you'd go through and edit it to your choosing. Now, whenever you've edited the file, you have the standalone little HTML file that's established, log into the app, and then view the contents of the file. If the action triggers, you have a cross-site request forgery attack. If not, well, better luck next time. You can keep hunting. This makes the whole process of finding, triggering, and validating cross-site request forgery vulnerabilities much easier for a pen tester. And of course, you can launch and test a browser and copy the HTML, which is what I did. So if we take a look at the proof of concept HTML, I actually created a little file, vim transfer.html, and I actually copied the HTML proof of concept code in. Then, while I was logged in to the application, was logged into the bank application, I go through and I view the file. So if I go through and refresh this file a couple of times, you're going to see that the bank transfers are triggering. So now I'm negative $634 in the hole. Refresh a few more times, go back and refresh this site. Now I'm negative $4,000 in the hole. And if I keep refreshing, get a little bit insane, the amount of money that I have in my bank account keeps on going down, 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 down. It was positive to begin with, but I got excited and I broke it. But at any rate, it at least demonstrates how an action in a file, or at least HTML, that can be loaded up in a blog entry or an attacker's cross-site scripting site that you can redirect somebody to with an iframe, as soon as somebody views it in a browser where they're already authenticated to an application, in this situation a fake bank from Sans 560, you can see that simply viewing that particular file, refreshing it again and again and again, is having a direct impact on the bank balance. So you can use this in your pen test, as I said, for adding users, changing parameters, basically transferring funds, downloading files, uploading evil files. Just try to have fun with it. And the whole idea now is it's so much easier to create these proof of concepts. Some other tools that Kevin Johnson will punch me in the face if I don't mention would be Monkey Fist. Another great cross-site request forgery testing tool is Monkey Fist. And another one of my favorites is Pinata. But in life, it's always about having options. So that is taking a look at some of the new features that are built into Burp Pro. On behalf of the team of Paul.com Security Weekly, I'd like to say thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.